9 months after his burial, a pope was dragged from his grave, dressed in sacred robes, and forced to answer charges in a court of law. His accuser sat on the throne of St. Peter. His judge was alive. His body was not. This was not legend. This was Rome in the year 897, and it remains one of the most disturbing trials in human history. To understand how Christianity's highest office descended into such madness, you must step into a world where faith and violence were inseparable, where power shifted by assassination, and where the papacy itself was little more than a prize in a brutal political game. Rome at the end of the 9th century was not the eternal city of marble calm and divine order. It was a battleground. Noble families fought openly for control. Armies marched through the streets. Popes rose and fell with alarming speed, many dying not of old age but of poison, strangulation, or blunt force. In this chaos rose a man named Formosus. Formosus was no revolutionary. He was intelligent, cautious, and deeply political, qualities that, in this era, could be deadly. Before becoming pope, he served as Bishop of Porto and traveled widely as a papal diplomat. He made alliances, he made enemies, and he survived scandals that would have ended weaker men. When Formosus became pope in 891, he inherited a fractured Europe. The Carolingian Empire was collapsing. Rival kings claimed the imperial crown. Rome itself was divided between powerful factions, each eager to control the papacy as a tool of legitimacy. Formosus made a fatal choice. He supported Arnulf of Carinthia, a German king, against the Italian claimant Lambert of Spoleto and Lambert's formidable mother, Agiltrude. With Formosus's blessing, Arnulf marched into Rome and was crowned Holy Roman Emperor. For a moment, Formosus seemed victorious. Then Arnulf was struck by a sudden paralysis. Some said a stroke, others whispered poison, and withdrew from Italy. Lambert and Agiltrude returned with vengeance in their hearts. Formosus was now defenseless. When he died in 896, Rome exhaled in relief. His body was buried. His reign, many believed, was finally over. They were wrong. Within months, a new pope ascended, Stephen VI. He was not a neutral figure. He owed his position to the Spoletan faction, the same enemies Formosus had humiliated. And they were not content with victory in life. They wanted judgment beyond the grave. Stephen ordered Formosus's corpse exhumed. The body was dragged from its tomb, already decaying, barely holding together. It was dressed in papal vestments and seated on a throne in the Basilica of St. John Lateran. A deacon was assigned to speak on behalf of the corpse, answering questions directed at a mouth that could no longer move. The trial began. Stephen raged. He screamed accusations at the dead man. He charged Formosus with perjury, ambition, and violating canon law by accepting the papacy while already serving as a bishop elsewhere, a technicality weaponized for revenge. The corpse, of course, said nothing, but silence did not save it. The verdict was guilty. Stephen ordered that all of Formosus's acts as pope be annulled, every ordination, every decree, every decision wiped from history. Then came the punishment. The 3 fingers Formosus had used to give blessings were cut off. His papal garments were stripped away. His body was dragged through the streets of Rome and thrown into the Tiber River like refuse. Rome recoiled. This was not justice. This was sacrilege. Even in an age hardened by brutality, the Cadaver Synod crossed a line. Rumors spread immediately. People whispered that earthquakes shook the city afterward, that fires broke out, that Formosus's ghost wandered Rome at night, accusing his enemies. And then something unexpected happened. The body returned. Fishermen reportedly recovered the corpse from the river, caught in their nets. Some claimed miracles occurred in its presence. The story spread rapidly, transforming the disgraced pope into a martyr. Public anger boiled over. Stephen VI, the man who had presided over the grotesque trial, quickly became the most hated figure in Rome. Within months, he was overthrown, imprisoned, and strangled to death in his cell. The madness did not end there. Over the next several years, the papacy swung violently back and forth. One pope declared the Cadaver Synod invalid, another reversed that decision, then another reinstated it. Formosus was condemned, rehabilitated, condemned again, and rehabilitated once more, his legacy tossed around like a political weapon. Eventually, sanity returned. The Cadaver Synod was formally annulled. Formosus was reburied with honor. Laws were passed forbidding the trial of corpses. But the damage was done. The event exposed something terrifying. The papacy was not guided solely by divine authority. It was deeply human, driven by fear, ambition, and revenge. In an age when the Church claimed moral supremacy, it had staged a trial so grotesque that even hardened Romans could not stomach it. The Cadaver Synod was not an accident. It was the logical endpoint of unchecked power mixed with political desperation. And it left behind a chilling question. If the dead could not escape judgment, if even a pope could be dragged from his grave and condemned, then who truly was safe? More than 1,000 years later, the image still unsettles. A rotting corpse on a throne, accused by the living, condemned by the powerful, and silenced forever. It is a reminder that history's darkest moments do not always come from ignorance. Sometimes, they come from institutions that believe themselves untouchable. And when power loses restraint, even the dead can be put on trial.